All right, it's Greg. Okay, you guys, so here's the first turn on Panzer Battles, all right? The Germans started over here on the west side of the map. They did move northeast over to the Soviets there. We moved them up as much as possible, giving what they can do to move and with terrain and whatnot. So we think we got that correct. Now, they weren't really close enough to do anything other than we had our mortar company here. Sorry, let me move this over. There's our mortars, and they were able to fire over here on the Soviet position, which was an armored car with 2 steps. So it lost a step, so we flipped it over, and so it's damaged. However, that's all we were able to do on that. The other German here, they can only come forward once the 11th Panzer Division shit is pulled, which hasn't happened yet, because this is just part 1 of the first turn. So on the next turn, Keegan's coming over tomorrow after work, and we're going to take the Soviets and we're going to work together to combat the Germans as best as we can. So these are going to come into play. These should be able to move and fight. It should actually get bloody tomorrow on the next turn. I mean, really should start seeing some damage. I don't see how we couldn't, because the Soviets will be in a position to move and engage, and fight and back and forth. So it should be much more, and that's going to be the second part of this first turn. And again, that'll be tomorrow. So anything you guys see that we're doing wrong, let us know. Otherwise, that's where it's at. And I'm kind of curious if we pull these. I mean, that's a long way for these Germans to have to advance and then engage and then fight and then occupy these 3 areas at the end of turn 2. I don't know. They'll have to see if those will come into play. But it is interesting. It's kind of cool. It has a starting area that's wide. Here's my other question, you guys. This starting area is just a letter C. So I'm assuming, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but we would start and kind of funnel up in a column, because I think we can only start from this hex. Whereas here, I could stack the chits and start in separate hexes, and then we had to move. So that's the one thing we got to figure out if they come into play. Otherwise, it's going to get nasty and should pick up, because once turn 2 starts, these Soviet reinforcements are such a short distance, and their movements are 14 and 10. They're obviously going to be able to just come in and just fight. So that will be interesting too by the time turn 2 gets there. All right, you guys, thanks. Any help would be appreciated. Thank you guys for starting us on this journey. We hope we can get this and do it correctly. Again, any mistakes, let us know. And we will get the Soviets' turn next.